Ask an Expert by Dreamplex is a podcast focusing on asking the expert of their field about their journey in becoming the specialist that they are today, as well as lessons and tips that they can share with us for our own personal development, together with how we can be a better version of ourselves in our professional career path. Topics we will be discussing in this podcast range from tips such as how to scale up a business, what is a healthy startup growth, to the importance of emotional intelligence and soft skills in our career journey. My name is Ian Lee Tran, and I'll be your host for today's episode. Hello, Me. Thank you for coming on the Ask an Expert podcast. Before we begin, could you do a quick introduction about yourself? What field of expertise are you in, and how did you get involved with Ask an Expert program at Dreamplex?
Thanks for inviting me. So my name is My Holland. I'm the CEO of EQuest Asia. We're based in Vietnam. And what we do in a few seconds is we are helping people to find their cultural identity. We are helping people to have a better workplace, especially the culture. So we're talking about workplace culture, free emotional intelligence, mindset shift, and positive psychology practices.
You mentioned about toxic positivity, which means, everybody only admiring the positive. If you're not positive, then you feel left out. So in the extreme version of just trying to promote positivity all the time. So how would I know when should I be concerned about my unhappiness at work? Because you said being not feeling happy all the time, it's all right. So that's nice to know. But when do I know that it's it's like this is how do you say, crossing the line of, unhappy and really finding this culture quite toxic?
What we need to remember that it's okay not to feel okay, and accept it. And because all the kind of emotions that we are having, is data. So, what is it that we can move, from the next step? Okay, I'm not fine today, but it's okay. But maybe in 15 minutes, that will be a different thing. So what we need to remember is how to be actually kind to ourselves in terms of not judging ourselves. And that is the hardest job that we have, at my company, is how to help people to say, you don't need to judge how you should be perceived, but you should just be who you are. And that is hard because in Vietnam, for instance, we want always to look good. We don't want to lose face. We don't want anyone to lose face. And that is a very cultural thing that we have, not just in Vietnam, but in Asia. But we have to remember that any emotions doesn't last. They don't last. So, an emotion which is unpleasant, and I'm not calling it negative emotions, they don't last. And this is something we should remember. And at the end of the day, we have to remember we have maybe hundreds of emotions, but the one that we will remember is the one that we don't like, which is unpleasant.
Right.
So that actually shifts our mindset and say, oh my gosh, I have such a terrible day. I feel so down. And then you ask, really? Did you feel down all day? What was lunch about? Didn't you have a nice lunch with your colleagues and whatsoever?